Okay, guys, take a look at this. Oh yeah, I got a new haircut from Allie's mom. What a cut.
Two lovers from Montreal moved to the bush in rural Quebec. They are doing projects without any research, like cabin smelling arts and crafts. That's Cabbie-Style. That's Cabbie-Style. That's Cabbie-Style.
A couple episodes ago, I was showing how the beets, they had pretty much died, but then they were seeming to recover. Now, the beets are looking amazing. Things have really been getting accelerated lately. Here's our own. This is our personal poll, and this is the Hydro-Quebec poll. Here's all this land. I showed this a bit, I think, a couple episodes ago. All this 15 feet from the road to the onto our land has been cleared to make room for the hydro poles, and you can see there's the next nearest pole. There's the pole after that. So Hydro-Quebec, they came out here. They put all these poles up just last week, and now they're going to start wiring it up. Apparently, they might get started in just a few days. So, an electrician came just this evening to look at our electricity setup with me, and that's why I put this tape from the pole to the cabin, and I'm digging a trench. It's supposed to be 3 feet deep if it's under where a car goes, and 2 feet deep if it's not where a car goes. So our car goes here, so I'm going to try to dig it 3 feet deep. I just started. And I put the tape here to make it a nice straight line. So it's going to go underneath the cabin, pop out on the other side. The electrician, he said he's ready to put the cable in as soon as I dig the trench. So now, this week, I'm going trench style.
I found a big book.
Okay, it's day 2 of digging the trench. Here's my progress I got to yesterday. I didn't spend that much time doing it yesterday. This is just a few inches. But then I started going deeper over here. So I'm curious to see how deep this is. So I'm going to measure it with a tape measure for the first time. So it's about 17, 18 inches in the deepest spot. That's not bad. It's not going to take that long, I don't think. The electrician came by yesterday, and he said that he could just use his mini excavator and dig the trench for $800, but I'm just going to try to do it myself instead. But if it gets really hard, maybe I'll get him to do part of it. But so far, been really lucky. There haven't been any stumps or big rocks or roots or anything like that. It's just kind of sandy soil and then some harder clay style. It's raining even though it's pretty sunny out. It's weird. Over, I see blue sky, and the rain just started coming out of nowhere. But anyway, I was just going to film to give an update that the trench is going pretty well. Pretty smooth sailings. We're lucky to have such sandy soil out here. But I was just doing this digging. Didn't take that long, and if you look how far in the shovel is, nice. So probably 2 more days of shoveling, and I'll have the trench complete. Day 3 of my trenching series, but take a look at this. So I got home from work today, and There's wire up on the line now. I can't believe it. Everything is happening so fast with this electricity. They did all this just while I was at the school today. So they put this thing. You can see there's like the big spools of wire. So they started it here, even though we're the last person on the road that is going to get the power. So they started here, and then I guess they fed it all the way down. So anyway, I took a picture of the electricity up on the wire up on the line, and I sent it to the electrician. And he said, "Okay, well, is your trench done yet?" And I said, "Well, I'm working on it, and maybe I can have it done by Friday. It's Wednesday today." And he said, "Okay, I'll come. I'll hook it up on Friday." So that put the pressure on me because it's about halfway done, I guess, halfway to the cabin. So now I'm gonna have a big trenching evening. I'm gonna put the time lapse on. Have my first day teaching for the new school year tomorrow. So I should be preparing my lesson plans, I guess, but this is a good way to blow off some steam. I also was thinking about going for a run this evening, but I gotta get trenching. But I'm gonna trench with a lot of intensity. I'm wearing my Garmin, so I'm gonna treat it as a zone 2 uh, exercise. Get my heart rate above 100 or so while I'm shoveling. Kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Okay, it was my first day teaching today. School year has begun. Then when I got home from teaching, I barbecued a steak and had some salad, but then I had to get right down to work with the trench because it's the last trench day. I didn't even set up the camera or anything because I was like, I gotta get working on this trench. And I just dug the trench for about 45 minutes or so. And to be honest, it's almost done. So I'll show the trench. Here we go. The electricity cable is going to go underneath the cabin there. So this part all needs to be deeper. But then when we get towards this part, this is done, I think. This is really deep. It's not the straightest trench in the world. I hope that the cable and the casing that's in is kind of flexible so it can navigate these little accidental bends. So the meter and stuff's going to be on this pole, and then the wire is going to go in there. Oh yeah, that's a bad bend right there. Youch, I didn't mean to do that, but I think it's okay. I'm gonna trench it I have like another half hour until the sun is gone, so I'm gonna trench it nonstop for that, and then it should be done. Which is crazy. The electrician is coming tomorrow. He's gonna do the work while I'm teaching. And then I'll come back in the evening and maybe everything will be finished. We'll have to see. Another crazy thing is that like I'm obviously no electricity out here, and I like don't have the time or energy to heat up water for my shower. It would take too long to use the electric element and use too much energy. I'm not going to use the wood stove. I can't start a fire over in the fire pit. I thought about heating up water on the barbecue, but that's kind of like a waste of propane. So my strategy for showering after I trench is just to trench so fast that I overheat and then I have a cold shower, which is kind of barbaric. Like as of right now, I don't want to have a cold shower, but maybe if I get serious about my trenching, then I'll be looking forward to the cold shower by the end. We'll see. Okay, so it's Friday. I just got home from my first week of teaching. There was only 2 actual teaching days and 3 professional development days. But anyway, while I was at work teaching, um, the electrician came and he set up everything. So we're all ready now for Hydro-Quebec to attach the power, which I guess is going to happen next week. So I've been kind of just blown away by how fast all this has been happening. So now on our pole, yeah, it's got the place for the Hydro-Quebec meter to go. There's this long wire here that's going to connect. Hydro-Quebec is going to come and connect that to that pole, and then we'll be hooked up to the electricity when that happens. This other one, I think that this is for fiber optic internet when that comes. Apparently that's going to come to the road and then the fiber will be connected to this one. Um, so here's my trench. Wow. Look at that crooked trench. But yeah, the electrician came. He put the electrical wires in the conduit. He put the danger tape in there that's supposed to be there, the safety tape. That's part of the code so that if anyone was digging or anything like that, they would see it. The electrician left this big thing here. I guess that the wire was on this. I think we can use this for something. It's pretty nice. It almost looks like a table. It'd be a really nice outdoor table, I think. Cabbie-style table for sure. Then the cable comes all the way up here, and then it goes underneath the cabbie. So, I mean, there's kind of a communication problems between me and the electrician because I don't really speak French and he doesn't really speak English, but I had thought that he was going to secure it to the bottom of the cabin, and that seems like the best way to keep it secure, to make it more rodent proof and kind of safer and stuff like that. That's what I had read online. But it just goes along the ground down there. I think that I might end up buying some hooks and attaching it to the bottom of the cabin. It just seems better. And I have to get under there soon anyway. One of the next projects that I'm going to do is to redo all the insulation really well under there so that it stays warmer this winter. So we've got our baseboard heaters. We're going to have electricity, so the cabin's going to be a lot more comfortable this winter than it was last winter. But part of that, I think, is having it properly insulated, or else that'll be really expensive. So then there was other stuff here before. There was like you can see where this kind of mark is on the wall. We had a different panel that the guy who sold us the cabin had used. He took that off. He put on just this new little one. Yeah, then he also went inside the cabin, the electrician, and connected this to our 100 amp panel. So yeah, it's all totally ready to go. It looks neat. It looks great. So, I mean, I'm impressed that I just after work this week was able to dig that long trench and that the electrician didn't criticize the trench. I guess he liked the trench. And now this is all done and we're just waiting for them to Hydro-Quebec to come and hook it up next week. Wow. And that's Cabbie-Style.
That's Cabbie-Style.